Good to see you all again, because today we need to examine one of the most quietly controversial parts of Jennifer Lopez's career, and strangely enough, it has almost nothing to do with her music, her films, or even her relationships. Instead, it revolves around something much deeper and far more uncomfortable for the entertainment industry itself. The possibility that Jennifer Lopez became so successful at being a celebrity that people eventually stopped recognizing how much work, calculation, and survival instinct were actually required to maintain her position for this long. Over the past few years, especially during the mixed reactions surrounding her newer projects and the constant internet analysis of her marriage to Ben Affleck, a surprising number of conversations online have revealed something fascinating. Many people no longer debate whether Jennifer Lopez is famous. That part is obvious. The debate now centers on whether audiences truly understand what kind of entertainment figure she actually is. Part of the confusion comes from the fact that Jennifer Lopez entered Hollywood during an era when celebrity culture functioned completely differently from today. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, fame itself was considered an achievement. Being everywhere at once was not viewed as exhausting or manipulative. It was considered proof of dominance. Lopez mastered that system almost perfectly. She was simultaneously appearing in blockbuster films, releasing chart-topping music, performing at award shows, launching fashion ventures, shaping beauty trends, and generating non-stop media attention around her personal life. Very few entertainers could maintain visibility across that many industries at the same time without eventually collapsing under the pressure. But because Lopez made it look effortless, audiences gradually stopped noticing the machinery behind the performance. That may sound strange, but some of the most disciplined celebrities in history eventually become victims of their own professionalism. People begin assuming success comes naturally to them because they rarely allow the public to witness the strain underneath. Jennifer Lopez spent decades presenting herself as polished, composed, ambitious, physically disciplined, emotionally resilient, and permanently camera-ready. The image became so consistent that audiences almost forgot it was an image requiring constant maintenance. The internet era completely disrupted that kind of celebrity psychology. Modern audiences are suspicious of perfection. In fact, many viewers now instinctively distrust celebrities who appear too controlled or too media-trained. Social media created an environment where emotional spontaneity became more valuable than polish. Influencers replaced movie stars in many areas of online culture because they appeared messy, vulnerable, unfiltered, and emotionally accessible. Jennifer Lopez, meanwhile, continued operating according to the rules of an older entertainment world where stars maintained distance between their public image and private emotional reality. That disconnect became dramatically visible during the release of This Is Me Now, which may eventually be remembered less as a music project and more as a massive public experiment in celebrity self-narrative. Lopez clearly intended the project to communicate emotional sincerity. She presented it as an exploration of love, heartbreak, insecurity, healing, and personal growth connected to her reunion with Ben Affleck. But the reaction revealed something uncomfortable about modern audiences. Many people now analyze celebrity vulnerability with extreme skepticism. Instead of simply accepting the emotional framing of the project, viewers immediately began dissecting it. Some fans appreciated the honesty and ambition behind such a personal creative risk. Others felt the project crossed into self-mythology so aggressively that it became difficult to emotionally connect with it. The criticism was not necessarily about the music or visuals themselves. It was about tone. Many viewers felt Jennifer Lopez was presenting her personal story with such cinematic intensity that it no longer resembled ordinary emotional experience. What she may have intended as romantic sincerity was interpreted by critics as emotional overproduction. And honestly, this reaction says just as much about audience psychology as it does about Jennifer Lopez herself. Modern viewers claim they want authenticity from celebrities, but authenticity has become an extremely narrow target. If a celebrity appears too polished, audiences call them fake. If they appear too vulnerable, audiences accuse them of performance. If they try to control their narrative, people resist it. But if they remain silent, internet speculation fills the vacuum anyway. Jennifer Lopez found herself trapped directly inside that impossible balance. Ben Affleck's public image only intensified the situation further. Over the last several years, Affleck has developed an internet reputation as somebody perpetually exhausted by fame itself. Viral paparazzi photos showing him looking frustrated, emotionally drained, or overwhelmed became recurring memes online. In contrast, Jennifer Lopez continued embracing public visibility with the confidence and precision that defined her entire career. The internet immediately transformed this contrast into a psychological narrative. Affleck became viewed as authentic because he looked uncomfortable. Lopez became viewed as performative because she looked composed. But there is a deeper issue hidden underneath that perception. Society often associates visible emotional discomfort with honesty while associating discipline with artificiality. Jennifer Lopez's professionalism may ironically work against her in modern culture because audiences now interpret emotional control as evidence of insincerity. Yet maintaining that level of composure for decades inside one of the most brutal industries in the world requires extraordinary psychological endurance. Another reason discussions about Jennifer Lopez became increasingly intense is because audiences started re-evaluating her legacy in ways that rarely happened before. During her peak years, critics often treated her success as commercial rather than artistic. She was viewed as a mainstream entertainment machine rather than a culturally serious figure. But over time, people began recognizing how unusual her career trajectory really was. Lopez did not merely survive one entertainment trend. She survived multiple collapses and reinventions of the entertainment industry itself. She transitioned from dancer to actress, from actress to pop star, from pop star to businesswoman, from tabloid celebrity to streaming-era public figure. She adapted through changing music markets, changing film economics, changing beauty standards, and changing audience expectations. Most celebrities become trapped inside the decade that made them famous. Jennifer Lopez repeatedly escaped that trap, even if each reinvention generated new criticism along the way. At the same time, some critics argue that Lopez's obsession with maintaining relevance may itself contribute to public fatigue. Certain online commentators believe she struggles to accept the natural transition from active superstar to legacy icon. Instead of reducing her visibility and protecting her mystique, Lopez continues pursuing large-scale projects, high-profile appearances, and emotionally exposed storytelling. For some viewers, this demonstrates courage and ambition. For others, it creates the impression of somebody constantly fighting against cultural aging. The reality is probably more complicated than either extreme interpretation. Jennifer Lopez appears deeply aware of how entertainment industries treat women as they grow older, especially women whose careers depend partly on beauty, performance energy, and public fascination. Hollywood historically rewards aging men with authority and reinvention while often pressuring aging women toward invisibility. Lopez refuses that invisibility entirely. She continues training intensely, performing publicly, producing projects, launching brands, and presenting herself as a current star rather than a nostalgic memory. Whether audiences interpret that as empowerment or ego often depends more on their own attitudes toward fame and aging than on Lopez herself. One of the most revealing things about Jennifer Lopez's career is that people rarely respond to her casually anymore. Discussions surrounding her quickly become emotional because she represents larger cultural anxieties about success, ambition, celebrity identity, romance, beauty standards, and authenticity. Supporters see a disciplined woman who built an empire through relentless work and survived decades of public scrutiny. Critics see somebody overly focused on image and public validation. But both sides remain intensely invested in discussing her, which is significant by itself. Because truly irrelevant celebrities disappear quietly. Jennifer Lopez never disappears quietly. Even during periods of criticism, she remains culturally central in a way that many younger stars struggle to achieve despite massive social media followings. And perhaps that is because she belongs to one of the last generations of entertainers who understood fame not as casual online visibility, but as full-scale mythology requiring constant maintenance and enormous personal sacrifice. So maybe the real story surrounding Jennifer Lopez right now is not whether she is succeeding or failing in the traditional sense. Maybe the real story is that audiences are witnessing an old model of superstardom colliding directly with a modern culture that no longer knows whether it admires that kind of celebrity or resents it. And Jennifer Lopez, intentionally or not, has become one of the clearest examples of that collision happening in real time. Thanks for listening, and tell me what you think. Has Jennifer Lopez remained impressively resilient in an industry built to replace people constantly? Or has the public finally grown exhausted with a style of celebrity that belonged to another era entirely?